check our audience. Sure. Oh, what's up, everybody? Just getting the little chat thing set up. If you have any questions for us regarding anything, then just shoot us some messages in the comments, and we will answer any questions. Aside from that, this is our just kind of hangout session while we start putting together the AMT X-Wing kits that are part of the Archive X group build for X-Wings that's going on to match the prop store model. If you haven't heard about it, hop over to Archive X's group page and you'll see a wide variety of posts there, as well as under the X-Wing group page. It's a really cool build. Basically, there were kits. I think the MPC kit was the kit that was original. This is the same mold that was actually screen used in Return of the Jedi. And there's a model available on the prop auction, and the group build goal is to copy the paint job. So we're gonna build some and do our best to do some paint, just have some fun. And while we're doing that, we figured we'd live stream it and be available to answer questions. You can see all the way over here, we've got our very first like 0.5 version of the Cowboy Bebop Swordfish. So if you have any questions about that model, we will be doing that too. Yes, James McVeigh, we are doing full production, just like the Walker, for the Swordfish, with super awesome base, tons of different movement. So there'll be like a land version, there'll be a flying version. You can see like all kinds of parts on this thing can move. You can actually fold the wings up. But yes, we're going to do a full production model. And then we just figured this would be a good one for DIYers to also get access to some STLs as well. This would just be one that we do both versions, a full production and the digital version for those who would like to print it themselves. So this is 1/35th scale. It will include 2 figures as well. So we'll have a spike inside the cockpit, and we'll also have a spike outside the cockpit. And we are even going to be doing a sculpture, like figure set for this series, because this is just one of many that we're doing, where we are blowing up the cockpit ball to 1/8 scale, which is, I think it's like 9 or 10 or something inches.
Yeah, it's like 8 inches in diameter.
8 inches in diameter with figure. And we're going to put that on a levitating base so that it floats and spins. And that's also going to be a model that you can buy as a full production piece. So it's got some really cool stuff for Cowboy Bebop coming up that we're kind of mixing in with our sci-fi stuff. So yeah, so great question. It is pretty cool. We'll post some video, I don't know, probably tomorrow, on just some of the movement that you can see on this one. Again, this is like our very first print, just to make sure that everything fits. We're going to do another print that we paint. And then, of course, we'll send the files off for pricing and stuff for the full, high quality polyurethane, epoxy clear windshields that'll be super clear, as well as the headlights and stuff will be super clear. It's going to be amazing. And I think there's some renders of the first of the version with the base that you can see.
Yeah.
But we've modified the base to make it even cooler. All right. But yeah, so we're just going to keep track of the chat, and build us some Star Wars kits. And I'm looking at the instructions here, and it looks like for the best possible painting purposes, we're going to do a lot of work on the fuselage, and then we'll build the wing sections, but then we're not going to put the wing sections together with the fuselage until we get the wings painted, it looks like. Just otherwise, it's going to be awkward to get underneath the wings, in between the X's. So we'll probably have to stop at this point here, I think.
Okay.
Because then the rest of it is just adding landing gear and then putting these two pieces together for paint. But I think we have to paint the wings first, and then we would just mask that off when we do the base. Well, we could do the base colors of the fuselage, and then it's just on the weathering and stuff. So, but we need to get base colors in between those wings, which would be awkward.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, so it'd be either since they're separated.
Yeah.
Do it like that. So
yeah.
Cool. Okay, so at least we get all the pieces prepped, and then we can paint it on the next screen.
Yeah.
Or you can paint it. I can watch or attempt to.
Oh
paint
no! I think the cool thing about this would be if I do a technique and then you do it on your own if you want.
Oh.
That way you could
kind of
really,
follow along.
Yeah, that way you could figure it out because you need to.
I do need to learn how to paint.
Learn how to do stuff. So
Ethan's the painter. I'm just the builder. So. Oh, it comes with a base. That's good.
Oh yeah, this one's interesting. It has this a plexiglass base that you can actually fit the nose into. So there's this big piece of acrylic.
Oh, I see that.
Right here.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to have it in like an in-flight version, you would stick the acrylic like in here somehow.
It's probably not gonna stick because of the paper.
Oh yeah, because of the paper.
But yeah, so it's
You
just
stick
like
it
that.
in here, and then you could stick the fuselage in, and then that creates like this like weird flying thing,
That's interesting.
which is crazy because back in the day, like this is a lot to put in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
because you have
pretty
to
crazy.
test to
Yeah, I mean, this looks
cut
like
that
a laser
and everything.
cut.
Yeah,
So
very interesting. I don't think we're gonna do that, but
yeah, it's got to be seated. I like mine on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some more pieces. Okay, so here's all the clear pieces. Oh, is it like a? Oh, so there's a flight base right here or something. See, it looks like it's got some sort of like fancy looking stand right here. See?
oh yeah.
Oh no, it's all scratched up. That's better.
Yeah, because it's got this one, but this is a special edition.
Yeah.
So then maybe that is the base edition, like the basic one that always comes with all of them.
Yeah, maybe this like.
This one's like X-Wing Fighter flight display, super special.
Yeah, because here's something else. You guys can see that it's next to this little star thing. I wonder if this like goes into it.
What's weird,
Oh yeah, it looks like it does.
doesn't talk about that in the instructions.
It looks like, from what I can tell in the relief on it, it looks like this just gets glued down into this. So this is the flight
Yeah.
base, essentially.
But for $9.95, we can join the Star Wars fan club.
Oh snap!
The official fan club membership includes the Star Wars Insider quarterly magazine, packed with Star Wars photos, interviews, and articles, 1-year subscription. The Jawa Trader, the official catalog of Star Wars and Indiana Jones collectibles inserted in every Star Wars Insider. Exclusive membership kit loaded with collectibles for members only. I'm pretty sure that this does not exist anymore, which is a shame. There should always be Star Wars fan clubs. We need more positivity in our lives because there's too much negativity.
Yep.
But that's cool. All right, let's start building stuff.
Interesting. Like a little package.
Yeah.
So cool.
do I get the-
I think I'm gonna put this off to the side for now. I don't think I need the glass yet. Maybe I'll like here while we do
No,
this.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna cut the glass off first.
I think it'll be next week or the week after. Also, if you're interested in learning about model making, painting, 3D printing, you want free access to STL kits, all that kind of stuff, we will be opening up or releasing our Patreon with videos already done next week or the week after. We're in the middle of working on stuff. I've got like 20 model kits. It's pretty freaking crazy. We'll be doing all kinds of things, but of course, lots of Star Wars stuff. So if you're interested in learning how to build and paint, what kind of tools and accessories and things that you would need or want, all kinds of stuff, that will be available with a multitude of different types of tiers. Very, 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 very soon.
Lots of great content for you guys.
Yeah.
Interesting seeing the old style runners like this. I'm used to Bandai kits and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the way that model kits have been for forever. Yeah, you get a little spoiled when you build Bandai kits.
Oh yeah. Interesting. All right. So you're just cutting out all the pieces first, or you're gonna?
I'm just gonna do it one step at a time.
Okay.
I mean, I could cut them all out, but
Mm-hmm.
for now, I'm just gonna.
I wish we could see the chat for some reason.
I know I
It's
can't see
not-
the chat,
See my
but I think it pops up whenever
when someone
somebody
says
does
something.
chat. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's some rust or something on mine.
All right. So basically, we're just going through here,
Cleaning up.
cut out the pieces, and then just very carefully with these sanding sticks, just knock off any type of flashing as well as the casting nub from the injection mold.
The pieces are pre-released from the runners. That's cool. All right. Let's see.
What's up, Michael? Good to see you.
Yeah, I can't read that. Only downside to having my phone over there, I can't read the read the chat.
Oh,
Uh,
you just said hey. What's up, Ed?
how's it going?
It's going really good, Michael. It's a fantastic Friday. Today we decided that we're going to have some fun and start working on the Archive X group build and also answer questions. So if anybody has questions about kits or future stuff or what makes us special, are we special, our production process, I mean, obviously we're not going to give everything away there, but I'm happy to talk about the materials that we use and stuff like that, because I think that's one of the biggest things that does separate us from everybody else. Interesting.
Labeled. That's because my looks. I think.
Oh no, they're labeled.
There?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's just really tiny.
Yeah.
Do 40. So I'm guessing it's
Amazon is here. So if you hear my dog, that's just Amazon delivering model kits for our studio scale kit collection. We are one cool thing that we're doing is we are going to start scanning studio scale kit parts so that our models can just take it to that
the next level.
upper echelon, like highest level physically possible, to go along with our production quality. So that is our future, and that's what we'll be doing with the shuttle Tidarium, is I'm going to go back through the whole thing with scanned kit parts and just double check every single piece, replace anything that's just a little bit different, and really just take that to a 10. So bought like 20 model kits this week, so we have packages coming all the time.
Let's see.
And don't forget, for anybody who has not entered the raffle for the painted walker, well, there's only, well, numbers are still pretty low right now, so your odds are extremely good for something that's worth like $2,500. So hop on there, $10 through our PayPal gets you entered into a raffle that we'll be doing next week for our last available giveaway for the walker as we begin production tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I think we're
tomorrow.
we're paying the invoices today, and then it's on them. So.
Yep. Let's see.
But let us know again if you have any questions about anything.
Oh, so these do not have holes. We'll have to make holes.
If we wanted to put lights in. I'm thinking we're just going to build it and have fun.
Okay.
There's so many other models that we're building for production that need to have lights and stuff, so. Our Jedi remote is almost ready to completely reveal. We're just waiting for the levitator to come in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
But the official prototype is looking real good. We've got a very cool animated lighting effect for all of the openings. So instead of using the 3M reflective tape to represent whenever the, like, fakely represent when the flashes happen for the Jedi training remote, we're actually putting LEDs in there with a diffuser, which I think is just really cool. I know it's not exactly what they did, but I think it's very cool.
It'll have a really nice effect.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And it's battery powered.
Oh yeah, it's rechargeable, battery powered.
Yep. So no wires just sticking out of it. It'll just float there with the levitation base, and it's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Okay. These, and then that's doing that.
And we're still debating painted kits. I'm leaning against it only because from the conversations that we've had with some people as well as some production people, I just don't think that the best possible quality can be gotten through production level paint jobs. So we should leave that to all the wonderful painters that we have here. So I think we might start collecting lists of painters in different spots around the world and
See if anybody wants to take commission.
get some just get some deals for anybody who wants to get a kit painted, including, we always paint some, which we still have some left. If anybody wants a walker painted that they've already purchased, we still have some spots left. So just email me, Facebook message me, or whatever, and we'll get you on the list for getting a paint job.
Yes.
But I think that's the better way to go, so that you can get a legit paint job versus something that's not with the right paints. They can't do enough layers for the money. It would just be too expensive.
Right.
And again, they don't care about the accuracy as much. So even though they would have a good prototype, it's not going to be the best. So I think we're going to leave painted work for statues, and we might do base colors potentially on some stuff, but it's not going to be like finished, fully weathered.
Yeah.
Leave some stuff for the hobby. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna get all these engines done first. Are you already glued?
Yep.
Nice. Well, let's see. So that's what plugs in right there. That's cool.
I'm just using regular super glue for this particular part. With injection molded kits, a lot of the time you can use the Tamiya cement, which is like a welding cement. It actually kind of slowly melts the plastic.
Oh yeah. I think I used to use that for some Bandai kits and things like that, but I think I eventually just end up switching over to some CA glue. End up working.
With the Star Wars Bandai kits, you'll see on Patreon, a lot of the time, like, I won't even glue them at all because the engineering is so good. You don't have to use glue because everything overlaps really nicely.
Right. It's true.
But on these kits, yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
What's up, Ron? Good to see you.
Yeah, a lot of the Gundam kits, they're all just snapped together. But if you want to kind of get rid of some of the seams and stuff, you have to do the seam sealing, or kind of like the gluing, so you can sand it down.
It's very interesting how good Bandai is at their engineering to make things fit.
Oh yeah.
It's always impressed me. So I'd never built anything that was theirs until they started coming out with Star Wars stuff. I was blown away by quality.
Yeah, I don't think I've built a Bandai Star Wars kit yet. Most of the stuff I do is the Gundam or any of their other line of like anime stuff.
These
so
pieces
I'm interested to try out the
do not fit properly.
Oh, they don't? Are they like the wrong size?
No, they're just the pins are in the wrong spot. So I'm gonna leave one pin.
Which one is that? Is it just all of them, or just?
Just starting with just this one. I mean, I think everything possibly, because especially with age and stuff, it's gonna be different.
Wait, what?
So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, they're like slightly off. Hmm. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna like sand it a little bit. Okay, so we don't have music, but
Oh yeah,
we need royalty-free music.
forgot about that.
I guess you can put it on your phone. I mean,
That's true.
my phone.
I'll look that up here in a minute.
Yeah. Are you using the cement?
Yeah, so now I'm using the actual welding cement. We'll see if this plastic takes it. It's old plastic, so just not sure.
Yeah, because like the front one fits pretty nice, but it's that back one right here that's like slightly off or something.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, I'm gonna sand that one down too.
So does anybody have any questions about anything while I'm holding this piece to let solidify? I can stare at comments.
Downside to using cement, you have to wait for it to dry.
Oh, cool. Michael had a great thing to say. He was just like, "You guys are killing it. I can't wait to see the two kids coming."
Well, thank you, Michael. Very much appreciated.
Keith, was there an idea on painting costs for the Walker? I'm sure I'm in the minority, but I tend to go for a light weathering when not essential to the look. So for my particular costs to paint them is $1,000, which is a little light. I'm sure other people are charging a lot more. And since we have the reference of the real thing, I'm just gonna try to, get as close to the reference that we have. Guy, which is the owner of Archive X, is gonna take ownership of the prototype that we have, and he's gonna do a painting tutorial. so he can figure out exactly what paints are going to be used, which will go in the paint sets for those who for the first 25 to buy a kit, and then we'll use those paint colors to just get as close as we can to one. So it'll be like, you know, museum quality. It won't be exactly like one. There's like 6 different versions of, or 6 different models of the AT-AT.
Mm-hmm.
So every single one is a little different, obviously. But yeah, so that's our cost to have one painted.
But the cool thing is, it already comes gray, so you're already kind of already there.
Yeah,
it looks
if
amazing.
you don't, I mean, that is kind of a cool thing. Like, if you didn't want to even paint it, I mean, you don't necessarily have to. I think there's gonna be a lot of people that don't.
I mean, you can just do simple panel lining, I think, and you're good to go. Because it looks, seeing it on our shelf, I mean, we haven't done any painting on it yet, and it's just, man, it looks so good. Can't help but stare at it every now and then. You could stare at it all the time. All right, so I think I got those. Really, only one of mine didn't fit that well.
Okay,
The
so
others
just,
seem to be okay.
The one that was unique. There was one that had different pegs.
You had different pegs? Oh,
Yeah.
mine are like the little round hole.
There was one that had the pegs on the opposite side.
Oh, I wonder if it's.
And that's the one that I'm working on right now. So I'm wondering if that's the one that didn't fit as well.
Oh.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for joining the stream. If you have any questions about anything, let us know. We're just doing an Archive X group build. Just doing the first part of it, just kind of putting the parts together. And then we'll do another one for painting. Maybe 2. But I figured we'd just live stream it. It would be cool.
Yeah.
It also gives us a chance to answer any questions that people have about anything. So, fire away if anybody has any questions.
Hey, for as old as model kit this is, it's still pretty good. You know, as far as like the look, like everything's still really nice and clean. I don't see like major warpage.
Yeah, it's cool that it's a screen used piece.
Yeah, it's cool too.
I still have so much to learn about all the minutia detail that so many people know about. Like, I did not know that there was a model kit, just a standard model kit that was in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it made it easier for them so they could have a lot of them.
Yeah, and by the time they got to Return of the Jedi, obviously there was a bunch of merch out there already. So,
Man down. That is true, yeah.
what's up, Nicholas? Good to see you. Let me know if you have any questions. We're just doing a group build and taking questions and hanging out with everybody. So,
Be a chillax stream today.
yeah, just hanging out. Sorry, there's no music. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do that.
Speaking of chillax, I think Shang-Chi comes out on Disney Plus today.
Oh, nice.
So
I'm gonna go see Eternals on Sunday.
Ooh, yeah, I need to see that too. I've heard mixed reviews, so I'm gonna just go and see it myself and make my own.
Yeah, same. There's mixed reviews, but
My own opinion of it. I mean, it looks pretty sick.
so the hard part with this royalty free is, do you trust them that it's royalty free? Because if it's not, then they're gonna mute you.
True.
Like, how do I know you're royalty free and you're just not lying to me?
Right. I guess Guess you never know until after the stream's over. I mean, they may not even be able to hear it on the. But it's there for us. Okay. These little guys fit in there. That's what it looks like. Okay.
So after I'm gluing the engines together, I'm going back over all the edges and sanding those down.
Just make it all nice and even.
Yes, there's no seam.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a tiny seam unless we like fill everything as far as like a crack or a joint. But I'm going to make sure there's no overlapping pieces. So, question for people that are on the stream: what are you building right now? Are you building anything, or are you just a collector? If you're collecting, what do you have your eye on? What's your pre-order list?
Is there anything you want to have made?
I know my pre-order list is some Dark Knight Queen collectible pieces because I'm trying to get a Dark Knight trilogy set finished. And then I'm probably going to shift to Lord of the Rings. Of course, I collect the models that we build, so the Star Wars collection will never end.
We're gonna have a.
But as far as like what you would call big box collections or stuff like that, I collect Queen stuff right now. And also, there's a new company called JND Studios, and they've got a Batman that might have to replace my Queen Batman. It's going to get released maybe today or Monday. They've been doing teasers. We'll see what the quality looks like. Of course, I also have to have the money for the down payment, which
That's true.
maybe not happen.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think on the other side of things, it's not Star Wars. I would also like a wall of large Iron Man stuff,
Yes.
like just the first three. It's Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3.
That would be cool.
So that's also on the dream list for, I don't know, I guess that would be, I don't know if that would be an office or a studio display.
That'd be our studio display. Do these not? Interesting. Do you think this one? These old guys right here, like that?
Yeah, that's so if they don't, then that's where you're gonna have to cut off the little tabs and then glue it flat so if you can line them up.
But none of them do. It just ends.
Oh, that one just does. Yeah, that one.
Okay, so that one just ends. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing on mine.
Gotcha. And I was like, because it looked like it would want to continue because it's the same thing.
Yeah. If we go up, then it removes playlist. Yeah. It's a little weird. What's up, Ken? How's your Friday going? You checking in from work or from home? Or is home your work? For us, home is work.
Okay.
What's up, Jim? Good to see you.
It's these two. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably not using that too. I'm debating doing the CA glue, but I think I'll just do the cement.
Yeah. So the other cool thing about the cement is you can put it on the outside of a
Oh, yeah, the fills
seam,
those.
and
Yeah.
it'll just dissolve.
Mm-hmm. This takes forever
Yeah.
to dry. Do you do it on both sides, or do you just do it on one?
I think recommended is both sides, but I'm lazy. Because if you do both sides, then both sides start to melt right away.
Mm.
It might attach itself a little faster. What's up, David?
Let's see if it's working.
Good to see you. How's everything going? Are you working? Do you have the day off? You working on models? What kind of projects you got going?
Switch to CA. Or just the CA glue.
You just have to press firmly. on this
Yeah,
button.
I'm pressing pretty hard, but it's. I don't know. It's
Well, then you can't let go. You have to press and hold and let it.
Yeah.
Let it. You gotta let it melt.
mm-hmm.
But there's also like I've used this quite a bit. You can see how low it is back there. So
Oh, maybe I wasn't
if
doing
you
it.
weren't dipping it all the way in, you gotta
Mm.
close everything so it wants to go all the way down.
Ah,
So that might be part of it too.
maybe. I think that's probably what it is. There's a part I did dip all the way in. It looks like it's melting.
So if you still have a crack, then again, just go around the outside after while it's still together, and then just press.
Okay. I think I have some of this. I wish I brought some. I didn't think about it.
It's alright. Looks like we need to get. Some... What's weird is that the brush is not
Dipping all the way? Do you think you'll get all the way down to the
like
bottom?
it's gonna be difficult at a certain point. You're gonna have a lot left, and you're not gonna be able to dip it.
Right?
Dude, same thing with mine. Like I covered everything, but see, there's still that crack. It's just
Mhm.
attached at the front of the back. So I just have to go back in and just
Fill it.
stroke that seam real quick, and then press, and it'll stay. What's up, everybody? Anybody have any questions for anything? If you guys made a decent-sized ATST, I'd be super excited. Yes, we are going to be doing a 1/12 ATST
Big boy.
early next year.
Yeah.
I think that's the second model, maybe, of next year, I think. Because ATSTs are one of my absolute favorites. We're going to do both.
Yeah. I think
Both
that'll be our
ATSTs.
second model.
So both versions. And I really want 1/12. I want that super cool, like, you know, you can put it on both, put one on either side of your television type thing, and it's just like, wow.
Right.
How do I get these comments to stay? Because I'm
I don't know.
not getting.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it would just stay up
Yeah.
until you took it down? At least that's how it is on Android. I don't know.
There's settings on this thing. I'm just not familiar with.
iOS.
Turn off chat, but I can't. Why is it not giving me like a half screen? Ah, yeah, it was my exact plan to buy two and put them on either side of my display. Definitely looking forward to that. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Me
think
too.
I think studio scale is still around the 1/24th size. It's, you know, it's cool. I mean, it's bigger than 1/48th for sure. You know, twice the size. But if we go twice the size bigger, it's still not like massive, but it just has a presence to it. You know. And then people could use their Black Series figures. You know, we might do some custom sculpts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really like, again, that's one of my grail pieces. So, you know, we're gonna be.
I think some would be about the same height as the AT-AT. You know, the 1/12, about the height. Or maybe even a
It
little
might
bit
even be taller. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be cool. I know, I definitely want to, because I think those are sweet, so. We'll do that in the, like you said, the second model, I think.
Yeah, I think our first Star Wars model of the new year might be Snowspeeder, I think. But we're gonna knock out ESB first.
Yeah.
And then we've got some more models lined up, and of course, in between doing Star Wars models, we will be doing the Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And then some other special projects, some figures.
Oh yeah. Got some cool figures coming out for you guys. That'll be sweet.
And I think we're trying to release 3 more pieces at least this year. We've got the Cowboy Bebop that's coming out.
The pod.
We've got the
So there's 2.
oh yeah, there's 2 for that, and then the big sculpture of the pod.
Yeah.
Because we're blowing up the pod with the figure. That's 2, and then we're working on the McClory X-Wing. If anybody hasn't heard about that. And then we're working on
the shuttle.
the shuttle.
Yeah.
So there's 4. And of course, we've got our blockade runner up for pre-order right now, and we're about to release some very interesting information next week about the gifts that we're going to give people for helping to support us and getting those orders in so we can start production sooner than later on that.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be giving away stuff to people who have already ordered, and then anybody who orders within a certain period of time is going to get something really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
And then anybody
For
who
free.
full pays will also get something really cool. So we will talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But if you want those free things, I mean, you can just hop on and go ahead and order the blockade runner, and you'll get those automatically anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're just free gifts for everybody from now till probably, I don't know, middle of December, something like that.
Something like that. back. Oh, there. Look how you can't even see it either.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Keith. Yeah.
Didn't take too much time on one, on one ship. I made it. Engine. It's like perfect. Alright. We'll start using CA. Let's do faster.
Yeah, I think this engine is going to be the worst of the set as far as like the little rips connecting. But again, this is for fun. I am not trying to scratch build this thing.
Okay, CA glue was a mistake.
That CA glue is the thin one.
Yeah, it's all over my hands. I am now attached to the engine. Yeah. Alright, oh.
Well, that's cool. If you give me a second, I will let you have this. Well, I guess you're going to have to clean up first.
Alright. It's not that bad.
You make fingerprints all over it?
Nothing I can't stand off.
So,
That'd be right. Yeah, that's like super thin.
yeah. I don't use that very often. I should not have brought it out, but I figured it might be useful for something. But we'll move that.
Just the fill. The fill right here.
What's up, Cam? What's up, Stay? Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions about anything. We're just doing an X-Wing build for the Archive X group build.
Just relaxing.
This is a screen-used model kit from Return of the Jedi. What's up, Lewis? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for all the support in the comments and
Yeah, thank you for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Let's see if there's anything that damaged.
let me know if you have any questions, Lucas or Lewis, about anything. We're just doing Q&A and building X-Wings.
I wonder if there's a setting in the app itself.
Maybe.
Something I'll have to maybe look up.
Yeah. Or I bet if we...
Yeah. That works.
That works.
Of course, it's gonna. I think I'll be right. That's way better.
All right, now I can actually see the comments all the time. It's like, what's going on here? But now you can't see me working, so
Maybe, yeah, let's put it off to the left. Yeah. There you go. I still can't see the comments.
I think they're just gone.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, cool. We're good.
Surprised nobody has any questions. Are we just that good at sending out information? Would be awesome if we were.
Same for you guys on my stream. If any of you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. I'll do my best to read them from here.
What's up, Rita? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Rita. You know Rita?
Do I?
Yeah, Kropowski. She handled all the paperwork at PSV.
Oh, hey. Cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey there, Rita.
Didn't know it was that Rita.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm trying to salvage this one best I can. Maybe a little, the primer should be able to hide some of this. If I can get this to fill at least smooth enough.
What you got?
This is on pretty good, but
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. You're going to see the line on all of them.
this one turned out really good. See, you can barely see the line on this one.
Yeah. So go back and... These were not, like, precision created pieces.
Well, I think back then they just actually had someone make the original from scratch, and then didn't they just have it casted from there, and then
I don't know enough to be able to say that or not.
I don't know. I feel like something like that
But yeah, I mean,
would be how they handled that back in the day.
again, since this was from that era, it's unlikely that they had CAD.
Oh, yeah. The 3D. I mean, they had some 3D stuff back then, but like nothing like we have today. Keep touching it, apparently.
I think it only will come up if there's
If someone says
somebody
anything.
says anything. Rita, if you're still watching, are you still at PSAV?
Encore now?
Or, yeah, Encore?
Let's see if it works. Wait. I actually got me some of this the other day too. The
Oh, nice.
medium.
Yeah.
With the little spouts. That thing is. Let me put some of the. Actually, don't put this together. I got it after I got that guy. So the new one will be done with this one.
Nice.
I'm really interested to see how well the clinical resin works compared to like, the standard hard resin.
Yeah, me too.
If it's that much better, then it's expensive, yes, but we can do all the final prints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not that much better. There's no point in spending that kind of money. And it came in little small bottles. Did yours come in small bottles too?
Yeah.
It's only been a couple of years on my account. I don't say anything. They probably just have me in the background.
Yeah.
Some of these pieces aren't lining up, but yeah, I guess it's as good as it can get, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect at all. I was expecting it to be a little bit worse than this, actually.
Oh, really? I guess I'm just too used to Bandai kits.
Yeah.
Those things are like precision. Oh, they're making another one-to-one Gundam in Fukuoka. It's the new Gundam from Char's Counterattack movie. I'm excited about that guy.
Oh, did you see Prime 1's Gypsy Danger?
Oh, yeah. That thing is amazing. Huge. I want it.
My brother's very interested to see how much the bust is going to be.
It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
So for as big as it is, man, dude, has to be a couple grand.
He's concerned it's going to be like 30. Which I think it could be.
Actually, I think it's gonna probably be about that much. Maybe even more than that, because it's big. I mean, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
I could see that being even close to 4. I mean, it's like, you know, standing next to a person, it was like as big as the person.
I think like Queen's busts and Infinity Studios busts are usually like 3 or 3,500. So I don't think they can charge much more than that for one that's just polystone without being silicone and stuff. But because of the size, you know,
Yeah.
they're going to get away with charging as much as somebody that is doing hair punching in silicone.
Yeah.
Where I think they're going to make much more profit on it.
Yeah.
Even though it's just polystone.
They look cool though.
Yeah.
I think it lights up too, right?
I didn't read the article. I just saw the picture.
Yeah.
You can have your brother and his roommate over for board game night.
Oh, totally.
I've got a
You got
board
no?
game to show you during lunch. It's called Nemesis, and it's like the Aliens game. Aliens. So
Really?
you're in a spaceship, and you're all part of the crew, and your goal is to fix the ship and get it ready and make sure that it's going in the right direction to escape and go back to Earth.
Before getting eaten.
But every time you move, you have to roll a dice for noise tokens, and if you get more than one noise token in a space, then an alien comes out. You also have different objective cards, and some of those cards may be cooperative, and some of them may be very anti-cooperative.
Okay, so it'd be like kind of.
So one might be you and everybody else except for somebody has to survive. So you have to figure out how to kill somebody.
Okay.
You might be like, you have to make sure that the engines do not get repaired. You have to make sure that the ship doesn't go to Earth, it goes to Mars instead of going to Earth.
So almost like you're an imposter type thing.
Yeah, it's
like the Among Us type game.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's always a chance that people are not working with you. But part of the trick is if you move around the ship in twos, then you don't get as much noise. So you're encouraged to partner up.
Interesting.
But then that person could close an airlock door, then suck you into space.
True. True.
So it's a very, very cool. It's very thematic. It's very complex. There's lots of rules, lots of things you can do. But it's like the most thematic game ever. But there's a good review video that I'll show you at lunch.
Totally. Yeah.
But I think it'd be the perfect game, and it's a long game. It's like a 4 or 5 hour game.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. John and Braden would probably like that.
But I went like completely all in on the Kickstarter after I watched it a few years ago. I played it officially once, just with my brother, and the company that makes the game is Polish, and the rules themselves were not super well made. But it's been long enough now that there's people that have redone all that stuff, so you can just download PDFs.
Oh, nice.
With, like, cheat sheets and
Translated
everything
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was translated, but like, I don't know. It's something with Kickstarter board games where they just do not put as much effort into making the rules as concise as they should be, especially with something that's complex where you have lots of choices.
Yeah.
So we struggled a bit the first time we played, just because obviously you would just learning how to play with rules that are not super clear about certain situations. But again, I think it's been long enough to where there's people that have answered pretty much all the questions that can be answered.
Yeah, kind of did their own version of the rules, kind of make it a little bit.
Yes, usually there's people that will do that, and they'll create cheat sheets for people to download and all that kind of stuff. So
nice.
I figure between that and the rulebook, all the questions would be answered.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun.
I know John and Braden probably down for it too.
Just to let anybody know that's new, we are building AMT X-Wings, which are the same toolings as the NPC X-Wings, which were actually screen used in Return of the Jedi. There is a prop store auction for one of these particular models, and the guys over at John Simmons, I think, opened up the idea on Archive X to just do a group build to try to match that ship from prop store. So we're just joining in on that group build. We're not going to be going in and doing lots and lots of custom work on ours, but we're going to try to match the paint after we build it. And during this time, we're answering questions and chatting. So if you have questions and you want to know anything, just let us know. We're here to answer questions. What's up, Nick? What's up, Sean? we have been known to give away information that's not common to the public on these things. So,
Accidentally, yes. Okay.
what's up, Nick?
Get this.
So, for example, while we have a few people on stream, why don't we take a moment and have you, Justin, go over
The swordfish?
the swordfish?
Sure.
So this is our very first print, just a test print of the swordfish.
Just to make sure kind of some of the pieces fit and kind of the engineering behind it works.
So it isn't perfect. The clear parts aren't perfect. None of it's
Yeah.
perfect, but all the pieces are here and they fit.
So the fins on the side, they actually move. So you can get those to rotate. The landing gear is actually magnetized, so you can swap it out if you want in flight mode or in landing gear mode. This will you can swap these out with the pieces that are the covers for the bottom. I'll show you this. So the back right here is thrusters. So we'll start with this little guy. So this right here will actually, the fin will fold, so you can put it in landing gear mode, and then you just fold it down and press it up, and it'll stay in its flight mode position. And then this actually has,
Here, let me hold it and tilt
There you
it
go.
this way
there you go.
so you guys can see it.
So this will actually close up.
So both of these fins move independent of each other.
Yeah, so you got two rings essentially right here. You got an inner ring, which is the shield, and then you got this actual rear wing for the pieces. There you go.
So you have full motion there.
Yeah. And then the hatch. So the hatch will come with two different joints. You'll have one where it's for in the closed position, and then we'll have one where it's in an open position like this. So, and the cockpit itself is this little pod, and the pod is removable. So, and the actual pod attaches to the cockpit via the actual grappling hook locations on the ship. So, and the hatch can open up. So this is pretty detailed. I went through to make sure it's as close as I could get it from looking at reference material from the show.
It's extremely detailed. And one of the cool things is we're also going to include two different model figures of Spike Siegel. One in the cockpit, flying the plane, and then one
On the outside.
on the outside of the wing. We'll show you that stuff as soon as those sculpts are finished. We're just getting them posed right now so we can test print those. The detail on every single piece is outstanding. Even inside this whole area is completely detailed.
So it's kind of hard to see, but there's detail underneath the hatch, and there's detail all on the inside of the fuselage.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be available for 3D printing as well as a complete finished production piece. We were looking at possibly doing a paint job on it as well in production, just because it's pretty cool. But at minimum, it will be a polyurethane and ABS and metal, very high end piece model kit
with the really nice, super clear acrylics.
Yeah.
For the glass and the headlights. So
yeah, so that's our next piece, and then we got a really cool base that we've designed for it as well.
So the gun actually comes down too, so you can adjust the gun if you want to be able to move it. So yeah,
so tons of movability. It's extremely well engineered. So that's our big sneak peek that nobody else has seen. We haven't released any videos of the actual piece yet or talked about any moving parts.
Nope.
So that'll be, I think the STL stuff will be released really soon, maybe even next week. We're just finishing the final tweaks, and then we'll open up the pre-order as soon as we get pricing back for just the production costs,
Castings and stuff. Yeah.
So again, we'll be looking at trying to get 50 or so people that want to get one, so that we can produce this next year. But we need the pre-orders to be able to do that. Just like anything else, we're not wealthy people, so we need the pre-orders to fund the
actual kits,
the actual production, because getting those wax prints, especially, like, there's a lot of setup cost before even paying for the kit itself. So that's what all that pre-order payments and stuff like that will go to. But we're also looking at extending our payment system so that instead of having even $250 payments, we would like to try to get to the point where we can do $100 payments per month on things, so that way you guys can order more objects at the same time and have like automated payment systems and stuff like that. So those are things that we're working on right now for future projects, so that more people can get involved. It's less on the bank account at once. If you have the funds, you can order a few projects of the same, or in congruency over the course of 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's not going to break the bank because they're just smaller payments at a time. So we're working on all that kind of stuff. We do want to make sure that anybody who wants our stuff
should be
as much as possible can afford it.
Yeah.
Obviously it's not a cheap hobby to get this level of detail and customization, but
yeah,
we are not taking advantage of the system. I mean, you can just see even for the walker, we charge the same as anybody else would have charged, and we quadrupled the quality, if not more.
And the full production of this will also come. So they'll come with the base, the 2 figures, and we're also going to do, like all of our other kits, will come with a collectible coin.
Yeah, it'll have its own coin.
It'll have its own coin. All of the Bebop production kits will have its own coin.
And that's something that is exclusive that you cannot get with the 3D printed.
Right.
Anything 3D printed, even if you're buying the 3D printed kit that comes with the custom base or anything. The coins are only for full production kit people. Got to keep it special. Got to keep it exclusive.
Alright, so there's that. Oh, yeah, get the inside bits. So you just add like a drop of glue right in here and then stick that in the little thruster piece.
Yeah, for me, I actually put a few drops of glue on the back of the thruster piece and then just dropped it in.
Yeah,
but you can go either way. There's not much movement that you can get out of that. Yeah. Do you gauge interest prior to PO or plan on using PO to see what interest is? Looks great. So for right now, the first couple pieces that we've released have just been based upon us seeing that there's not a big market for them. So there wasn't a big market for the walker. There wasn't a big market for the runner. The runner was also our most successful digital kit sold. So our hope was that there was a bunch of people that wanted a like super high end, especially updated with the updated accuracy and stuff, that really wanted something like that. So that's what the two for that is.
In the structure of it too.
As far as the swordfish goes, there's a live action Cowboy Bebop that's about to hit next Friday. So our goal is to have something come out around that same time period. And it's one of Justin's absolute favorite
I love the
animes of all time, and I've just started watching it, and it's really, really good. And I don't watch anime, so that says something. So that was why we started this series. Now for our future kits, there's some of it is going to be like, we want these kits. These are things that are our holy grail items, and some of them are stuff that people have talked to us about. Like the Macquarie X-Wing is something people have talked to us about, and then I was like, oh man, that is such a really cool idea. I love the idea of doing concept pieces because they are rare. Like nobody sees that kind of stuff. So we're doing that because of that. And I'm sure it will sell well because it's really rare, but it's also just really unique. But the like Empire Strikes Back stuff, the people have done those, but again, we don't. Our production process is so far and beyond the regular casting process that you've seen out there. The quality of everything is so much better that I feel confident in re-releasing things for the most part that have been done or are being done, because ours is just going to be better, I think. And I don't want to be unhumble about it, but I mean, you can look at the video of the Walker.
It's fantastic.
And you can see the quality of those castings, like we only do 9 pulls on a mold before it's done. And we're using that absolute maximum quality polyurethane and ABS. We're not using brittle resin. So the parts are just really, really good. So if people want that type of stuff, that's why we're going to do snow speeders and ATSTs and stuff like that. And then we're going to do some other obscure stuff too. But, there's things that we want that we'll do too.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to know what people cannot find that we can do.
Yeah, let us know like some of your Holy Grail items, and we'll if we get enough interest, then we'll definitely make it.
The Walker scale is a studio scale, so it's 1/48.
It's the same size I had for the filming.
So it's the same size as the filming, and it is as close as we could get with our reference to 100% accuracy. It's not 100%. I would say it's in the 90s, because we did not have the physical kit pieces like in hand, but we had the kit pieces with measurements in photos. So it's really close. Now we're stepping up our game, and we're starting to purchase all of those kits for future builds that we can scan them in, which is just going to take us to that next level.
Yeah.
But I would still say the Walker's, in the 90% range of accuracy. All the parts are there. All the parts have been modeled from the pictures and references and photos and stuff like that. And then people have measured up. So it's super accurate to that. As far as the Swordfish goes, it's 1/35th scale, which is diorama scale. I know that a lot of planes are 1/32nd scale, which is, I find a weird scale, just because it doesn't match like characters that you could buy off the shelf to build dioramas. So
yeah,
we're doing it in 1/35th to match that stuff. So if you ever wanted to add
people walking around it or something,
or vehicles and things like that, if you wanted to have it on a make a space station or something like that, then you could, and it would fit.
Yeah.
It would match.
Yeah.
And then our art scale is 1/8 scale. So if we do sculpture work, it's going to be in 1/8 scale. We like that because the characters are still pretty big. They're like 9 inches tall. You can still cram as much detail as possible into them. But if you take up the same space as like a 1/4 scale or a 1/3 scale item, we can have vehicles or multiple figures fighting or all kinds of things going on to create a real good story with a 1/8 scale piece versus you would just have a figure standing there at 1/4 scale or 1/3 scale.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we're doing the 1/8 scale. So we're going to do a 1/8 scale of that pod.
This whole pod right here.
With the character inside, with removable sides. And then we're going to make a levitating base. So it'll hold that whole pod in 1/8 scale, which is 8 inches. It's huge.
Yeah.
The whole thing will just sit there and float.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to show you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
So for Cowboy Bebop, we're gonna have a line of ships. So we're gonna do all the ships, and then with those ships, there'll be a collectible. So probably we'll continue the cockpits of every single ship, and then we'll do a final collectible on the couch in 1/8. So there's gonna be basically a full line with kind of 2 different systems of subjects that go along with it. And we'll mix these in as we continue to work on Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we'll have Faye, Jed, and then we're gonna do the Bebop, and then for the Bebop's characters that go with it, it'll be Ed 9. So
yeah,
that way everyone gets kind of covered. So, and then everything will match too, because they'll be part of the same line.
Yeah.
So,
but again, like if any of you guys have Holy Grail items that you don't have either a good quality piece for or you cannot find, just shoot us a message. And if it's something cool, or something that we feel like we can do, obviously I don't want to say that anything's not cool because everything's cool. But if it's something that we can do or something that we think, oh yeah, that sounds interesting, and I think a lot of people would like that, then we'll put it on our list. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because, obviously we have a pretty massive list of things that we'd love to do over the next few years. But
yeah, definitely.
We want to make sure that especially obscure things get done. So that's all part of the plan. But yeah, I'm gonna step aside for just a second.
Sure.
Need to get a drink.
On your way back, would you mind bringing me mine?
Yeah.
I think it's over on the counter somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see. These are all the these are the guns. They go on the wing.
Yeah.
And oh, here they are.
You want to see something that's 1/8 scale? This is 1/8 scale.
I have big hands, so you can see how big this thing is. It is a really, really nice piece.
So, but it fits on a shelf like perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like we can do things like this in our art, like sculpture scale, and still be able to, like, it's not going to take up a tremendous amount of room, but you get all of that detail crammed in there.
Oh yeah.
So that's our goal for sculptures.
Thank you. Alrighty. So I guess let's start with the little rings. Guess these are the collars, right? That go in there? Yeah, these are the collars. A lot of fashion on this one. Those little collars?
Yeah, there's a lot of flashing.
I don't think this one's straight.
Yeah, does anybody have any other questions about stuff? Real quick. We still are taking pre-orders for the playing cards. So if you want the most unique poker cards ever created for this theme, then please pre-order those because we're collecting funds so we can actually place our order. We're going to place it whether we get the amount of people or not because we'll be able to sell them elsewhere. But we want you guys to get first hand at them.
Yeah.
And you guys get them for less price than we would for selling them retail right now. So that's available. Otherwise, we'll place that order soonish.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the Sabak game set that is still available, and we're just waiting for those cards to get into port. They've been sitting on a boat in LA for 4 weeks. It's annoying. We have all the other pieces. We're just waiting for those. So if you've already ordered them, just bear with us. We'll start shipping as soon.
We have everything else.
Yeah.
Like everything else is here. It's just we're just waiting on the card. So as soon like you said, as soon as I get here, then
We
those
can-
are going to go out.
Yeah.
So But
The race speeder is available for 3D print, by the way. So if anybody wants a 3D print model of that, we haven't done a production because it's, it's the new movies, and we just don't know if there's enough interest to be able to get 50 of those.
Mhm.
But if you want a 3D printable version, that is for sale. So you can just PM us, and we'll hook you up with some 3D prints. Otherwise, join the Patreon, and we may do one of those as
the
a
monthly build.
as a build, and then you would get the 3D print files for free there by subscribing.
Yeah.
What's up, Tim? Good to see you. How's everything going?
How are you doing on this fine Friday?
We're just working on kits for the group build for Archive X, and
Showing off the swordfish that recently got printed.
yep, showing the Cowboy Bebop version 0.5.
Yeah.
So you can watch back in the stream. We just went over all the movable parts and everything. It's just crammed with details.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's such a nice size too. It's not. Oh, and the wings will fold up. This one doesn't fold up at the moment, but the wings will be able to fold up, so you can store it if you don't have if your shelf is really small. So
Yeah, I think the base is 12 inches or 10 inches, and
Yeah.
it'll fit completely on the base with the wings folded up.
yeah, I think honestly the wingspan right here is about 14 inches or so. I don't have a ruler, but it's roughly around that.
So it'll still fit on a 12-inch shelf if you have the front of it sticking off the shelf.
Yeah, I mean you can even have it at an angle like this, and it'll fit on your standard shelves.
Yeah, we've got, like, when we make a model, we have two goals in mind. One is to either fit on a 12-inch shelf or on a, like, IKEA, like, 15-inch. So those are the two standard kind of sizes that we're looking for. So, like, for example, the Blockade Runner will fit on a 12-inch shelf just fine. Because of the way that we designed the base, and even though it's really long, it's 30 inches, it fits there lengthwise. So that was the reasoning why we made that size.
All right, and phase and jet ships will also be 1/35th scale.
Yeah.
So it'll match proportionally to the swordfish. The bebop, on the other hand, we'll have to figure out what size we want to do, whatever feels a good size for that, because we can't do 1/35th scale of the bebop, because that'd be the size of this kitchen.
Yeah.
Or at least half of it. So would be awesome. Maybe someday we'll do a 1/35th scale set.
Yeah.
It is a big ship.
Is there a lieu of printed figures as well?
For the Cowboy Bebop stuff?
For the Cowboy Bebop stuff, yes, there'll be figures for every single piece.
Yes.
And then there's also going to be a collectible line of statues at 1/8 scale that we're doing, and those are going to be with the cockpit.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a 1/8 scale cockpit with a levitating base with figures that go with it.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to do a set of figures on the couch. So it'll be like just kind of a finale set with all the characters sitting there or standing there or whatever, kind of as a finished.
Hanging out.
So there's a complete line that we have plans for that one.
So those will be released over the next year.
Yeah.
So.
And then for like Rey Speeder and any of the Star Wars Speeder kits that are available for 3D printing right now, all of those have figures that go with them. And those are, I think the standard size for those is 1/12, because we originally were designing those for people that collected Black Series. But you can scale that up to 1/8 just like we did.
Yeah.
You just need to make sure you have that medium-sized printer for sure.
Yeah, pretty much all of our prints fit on a medium-sized printer, an 8-inch bed.
Yeah, I think the only one that we have that
It won't.
won't is going to be the Return of the Jedi Speeder, because the fuselage is one piece and it's very long. So if you wanted to print that at 1/8, that one might not fit.
Right.
But you could slice it if you wanted to. I didn't slice it because I don't want to fill the seams. But I mean, it's just time, it's just patience. But you could use mesh mixture to cut that in half, and then you could print that on in a medium-sized printer. I've got one of those.
Oh yeah.
Over here. Yeah. We've got a few in various stages of primer. This was one that we were gonna turn into one of the newer, like the Mandalorian version.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the ROTJ character. So, if you think about it, it sits like this. And then the ROTJ version, the base.
Oh yeah.
This is my painted base. And then we've got a little nubbin right here. So the whole thing, just think of it in the right colors because this one's painted differently. But it would sit just like that. And that's our perspective of Return of the Jedi. We wanted it to be a little bit more unique. So
Kind of in that action pose.
yeah.
Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
Very impressive in person.
So I do want to redo this at some point with the better resin. This was done in
Our first attempt at mixing
our
own.
lower quality resin stuff.
Yeah.
When we first started printing things.
But now we use EPAX hard resin for a lot of our prints, and
Yeah, we use EPAX printers and EPAX hard resin, so it matches up better. Yeah, you said visions.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so vision stuff would be very interesting. I think,
Yeah.
like, okay, so like the Twin Star Destroyer, now you're talking about
Oh,
1,000 hours worth of modeling work.
but it's badass.
But maybe some vision characters would be interesting to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because of course the not all of them, but a lot of those episodes were very cool.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting one to get into at some point. With the sculpture stuff, it's more just we need to, we come up with a story, we come up with ideas, and then we hire a concept designer to concept draw the characters and concept draw the pose. And then we send that off to our sculptor who does the sculpting work. And then we do basing work. And then from there, we do the production here.
Mhm.
So we have a team that helps us with doing figures because that's not our specific forte. Though I love sculpture, I have not put enough practice into it to do it myself yet. So we're directors on that side of things and just use the resources that we have to be able to create the concept as well as get the pieces done.
Mhm.
So those are cool because, it's just really money. So like, for example, like the raffle that's going on right now, the funds for that raffle are going to pay for the kit, and then they're also going to pay for sculptures. That's the plan for that. So that money doesn't even go to us really at all. It goes right back into stuff for you guys.
Yep.
That's its purpose. So please get your $10 in for the raffle, so that you can get a painted walker. And again, the main purpose for that is to get funds to get sculptures made for figures.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, the dog's gonna bark. There's a trash man coming. Is the trash man coming? I need to put the trash out. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Let's switch over to this guy. So these nubbins are a little thick. Have some flashing on them too. Oh, no, why I can't see the...
In the garage, there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I don't know why that, like, it disappears. Like,
Yeah. I think like if we look down and somebody comments, then it's just there for a second.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the. I went back and rewatched a bunch of the Visions, and uh, man, they're some of them are sick. Very well, very well done. I still like that first one, the black and white one, with
Yeah,
the
the first one was very good.
with the lightsaber and stuff. I found out that someone found, or they were talking about online, like the reason why he has the scabbard is because the lightsaber itself won't turn off. It's
Mm.
broken. So he uses a scabbard to kind of hold it
Interesting.
in order to keep him from getting destroyed.
Yeah.
But his actual scabbard is made up of a whole bunch of like different lightsaber pieces that he's taken from Siths that he's killed.
Okay.
At least that's what they said online. Yeah. This guy that was talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, that makes sense. That's cool. It's a very cool concept. So.
The Bad Batch project. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's part of the stuff that we're in the process of getting done. So all of those characters are being sculpted right now. I'm not sure when they're going to be finished. I mean, obviously it takes a little while to get all that stuff done.
Mhm.
And then we are designing the full base for that.
Oh, yeah.
So my idea for that one is we wanted to come up with some sort of vehicle that would look good without us having to design, Star Destroyers or anything crazy. So we're taking our AAT model and we're going to scale that up to 1/8 scale, which of course is massive. And then we're going to basically wreck it so that let me pull one out.
All right. We haven't released the AAT yet. We're still working on a few little engineering bits.
Yeah, we've done some prints of it, but we haven't really gotten we've moved on, so we need to go back to it.
Yeah.
Do I have the cockpit in here? Where's the cockpit?
I think you did, or it may be in your office.
So if you think of the AAT, obviously all of this, if we put all of that into a sculpture with the Bad Batch at 1/8 scale, it would be ridiculously huge. So what we're thinking is we're going to crash it where it's mostly sunk into the dirt and possibly just the turret and the barrel are sticking up. So it's really going to be sliced where you have it's just going to be kind of just a little bit, and we'll detail any part that's broken.
Oh yeah.
And then, the turret will be sticking up with the barrel. That's what you're going to see most of the way. And then we'll just have the Bad Batch characters as if that's kind of where their camp is. So there'll be some Bad Batch characters kind of in front of it. We might put what's her name?
I can't remember her name.
I don't know why I can't remember her name. The girl. I think I would have her crawling along the barrel and dangling the teddy bear off, so that the large character is trying to grab it.
Data sitting there.
So just really kind of create a really cool story with that, and then the other characters are just doing their own thing, and that would be it's going to be a long display. But again, we're going to try to keep that width to a certain dimension so that it can fit on a shelf. But it'll have every single character, and then tucked up in the corner, we'll have the sniper guy, just kind of watching everything.
Yeah, it's basically gonna be a nice little diorama.
So it'll be a full diorama piece at 1/8. And the goal for that is to sell a kit version and a completely painted version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. How cool is it going to be? Yeah, so we've got that one that we're working on. We're working on that Luke, forlorn Jedi piece. So that one is all based upon a comic strip where he's on Jeddah, and the stormtroopers were going through the town just totally demolishing people and just pulling people out of their homes just like Nazis would or something like that, and killing people. And he just saw red and just went there and just started killing stormtroopers. This is in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, where he just doesn't have his full training yet. He has the lightsaber, but he's still figuring things out, and he just completely lost control.
He goes
And-
all Anakin.
Yeah, and just, you know, kills a pile of stormtroopers, and then he's just like completely wrecked after that happened. So we're trying to portray that. So we've got the, you know, the pile of stormtroopers with Luke Skywalker at the top, but we're trying to get that like anxious, just nervous, like I'm so sad. Sorry, my dog's barking because the trash people are here. And she
Stuffy.
hates it. Hey,
Come
chill,
Come here.
chill. So that's the plan with that piece, and that piece is just we're redoing the sculpt on it because it just didn't come across as him being like in agony over what he did. It came across as more of like, you know, I am Tarzan. So we're changing that. Hey, Sophie, come here. No.
She really hates the trash.
Yeah,
people.
she does not like trash trucks. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we're releasing that one, and then we are obviously working on the Cowboy Bebop sculpts. And my favorite character is Darth Maul, so we're gonna do a Darth Maul piece from the comics as well. Got him fighting a character, two characters. Still haven't figured out the basing for that one yet. So those are all in the works, and that's what the raffle is going to be paying for, is finishing those sculpts for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just have to do all the pre-production. We'll be painting, or obviously printing a set at the highest resolution we can, and then I'll do a full paint up of those, and then that will be the master for the company to go back through and create the actual kits.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're super excited about getting into some of the figure stuff.
Oh yeah.
Geonesian. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't have any problem with figuring out something there. I mean, again, I love like the Clone Wars anything. So if you have an idea for something, or if you saw a picture in the comics or on Google or something like that, that's something that like strikes you, you know, send it to me and we can talk about it. And if I think it's really good, then we can work out a good storyline or whatever.
Totally.
Because part of the deal too is you know, a lot of the stuff, especially in the future, we want to pay for the concept art for. So a lot of these like character pieces and like finished rendering, painted images of what kind of story we're trying to represent, and we want to be able to offer those like with the kits, so that you guys have artwork too. So that's something I really want to get into, is having artwork pieces, and then, you know, we could create like an art book, you know, every year or so or something like that with all these pieces, or, you know, some sort of interesting little product. I don't know how many pieces we would have per year. Probably not enough for a book, but you know what I mean. Like, it'd be cool to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
What?
Oh, just the way some of these fit. So only like specific ones fit with each other.
Yeah, our biggest thing with, I think, doing the figure line is we want to be unique.
Mm-hmm. Do the stuff people have been wanting to have done.
And just do stuff in different ways. Like, if I were to do the main characters like Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, all that kind of stuff, I would pull from specific places. I would not do something that was common. Because a lot of you guys already have quarter scale sculptures of them, like hero pose or whatever, and, you know, we want to do stuff that's action oriented or, you know, just crazy unique. So that's always our plan, is coming up with ideas for that kind of stuff. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it would be a really cool idea. I know I'd love to have something like that.
Indeed. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, I got the glue over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually need to switch. This is the pocket for this is too.
It's too big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it sticks out like that.
So I think with 1/8 scale, we could do a piece with up to 4 or 5 characters, and we could do that action packed. And as long as we pay attention to the depth of the piece, so most of our action oriented pieces would go lengthwise versus being depth wise, so that it could fit on a shelf. I think that would cover the basis for doing stuff like that. To do like 1/12, my concern is that you could just do the same thing with Black Series figures. Like, why would you pay for a more expensive sculpt, even though it's better? You know, it's a little bit more risky. I'm not opposed to the idea, but we would need people to talk to us about that, and you know, there needs to be a decent market for if you wanted a Jedi battle at 1/12 and you had like 10 characters, and again, it would be wider than it is deeper, but you could add a bunch of characters to something, or if you wanted something with lots of gravity and you had people like hanging off of stuff and jumping, or you know, figuring out how to get people to float and all that kind of thing, you know. Again, we can do that with the 1/8 scale with a few people,
but not like
30
of them.
an army.
Yeah.
Oh, Legionish. Oh, okay.
So like
yeah, see you later, Tim. Okay, so Legion.
It looks like this tall.
Man, there are so many custom Legion characters. Like, I don't think we even need to touch it. You just have to know where to look. PM me, and I'll talk to you. We can talk about where to get Legion characters. I mean, people have done like a lot of Star Wars vehicles at Legion scale. I can think of one company that does them. I mean, they're not accurate whatsoever. They're still cool.
At that scale, though, you can barely see that.
Well, that's 1/48, so I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Like, I think somebody just released like a shuttle for Legion. You know, it looks fine, but it's not, you know, it's not accurate whatsoever. I wouldn't call it a great model. But as far as like getting the figures, oh man, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of those figures out there. So if you ever wanted to create a diorama, yeah, I can totally show you where to go to buy STL files for printing those. You would need a 3D printer, but that's all you need for 1/48 scale. If you can print that on any resin, like that's what most of the standard resins that won't really hold up for model kits, that's what they're made for, is the minis.
Right. Yeah, and the EPAX has one of the best 3D printers out there for the money, so highly recommend you guys get that. And they're coming out soon with some new screens as well, so for high resolution.
It's already out. We can buy it.
It's already out.
We just haven't sprung for one.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's good. All right. So how'd this fit? The rings just kind of like slide over the top of that? That's what it looks like?
Yeah, what I'm curious about is it looks like in the instructions, see how they've got this pin going in this way?
Yeah, it looks like it just goes like this.
But it fits going in this way, and like...
Oh, mine doesn't. It's a little tight. See, there's an inner ring.
Yeah.
I think this fits right there on that inner ring, so I think it's supposed to be like this.
Okay.
At least that's what I can tell.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you look at the ship.
I'm very sadly like I haven't studied the X-Wing.
See.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't studied the X-Wing.
Okay. Yeah. It looks
the
like
way that I should.
It looks like the ring just goes right over the front of these. Okay. Well, I mean, this is technically my first Star Wars kit that I haven't made. So,
I would still say, because of all the ones that you created from scratch, you probably have a lot of. I would say you have a lot of experience in the Star Wars field without actually having built a plastic kit.
that's true. Yeah, I definitely want to. I want to print or get one of those snow speeders. Because that looks like a really fun, easy one to do, and then give me a chance to, besides this one, to learn how to paint on.
Oh yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, that's the. Oh yeah, so for our Patreon that we're releasing, I think next week, our first build is going to be the Snowspeeder, just in commemoration of the Walker, because it's the same scale. So if anybody wanted to add a Snowspeeder to their diorama, which I think we will, then that'll be the one to watch. And we're going to post that one up for free on YouTube so that you can see what the Patreon will look like and kind of how we do things. So we'll build the Snowspeeder and release that for free. And then from then on, all of those other kits would be for Patreon as far as tutorial goes. And then we'll still release some compressed versions of those builds, but you're not going to get the tutorial part. It's just going to be more like entertainment,
Just
watching style.
Highlights.
Yeah. So those will be always available on Facebook and YouTube. But we're not going to do that for every single kit either. You know, we want to give as much as we can to the people that are supporting us, because Patreon is going to be how we can, again, another way that we can both survive, but then also continue to make sculptures too. Call sculptures, and like, you know, it requires a tremendous amount of money to get the wax master done, all that kind of stuff. So just getting income to be able to keep the ball rolling. You know, we're happy to spend our time teaching people to
do stuff
to keep this stuff going.
Which means it kind of like not straight. Do yours do that too? It's not like it's straight. It looks like it's kind of like.
Oh, so what I did was I didn't push it in all the way. I just pushed it in,
just barely.
Or I leaned it back against the wall.
See, I think
so you can see that there's a crack right here where I leaned it backwards, and that kept it straight.
Okay. Oh.
Because I think you would have had to, you would have had to trim it a little bit.
Do I need to see it? Let's see.
I don't know. So like for you, like Nick, if you had an idea for something that you wanted, in Dio version for a display, like you just come to me and I'll hook you up, because we have the printers and the ability to paint them and all that stuff. Like my forte of the past 10 years or so is figure painting. So painting that scale of figures is what I've been doing for forever. When I took a break from doing armor and World War II vehicles and stuff. And even when I was in high school, I did dioramas. So doing buildings and vegetation and bases and stuff like that from scratch. That's what I did. That's what I enjoyed doing for the most part. So that's where my strength comes from. So if you want something specific, then we'll talk. Because I know where to get them, and I know how to put all that stuff together. But I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that anybody who's a quality painter could, but there was a lot of scratch building to make it a diorama. A lot of plaster work, and you know, it's more than just painting vehicles or figures and stuff. You know, it's not the ILM painting method.
so I think I'm just gonna do what you did and just kind of just press it right back there. So it's okay, I guess, if there's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think that matters as much as it matters to be straight.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I think that's what the main sprue right here plugs into, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's not straight, it's not gonna look good.
Yeah.
We need to.
Hey. Oh, we might out of packages.
Oh.
I ordered so many kits for starting our studio scale, like, kit collection experience. So we've got tons of kits that are gonna be coming in the mail. I think I've got almost everything needed for the shuttle. I've got a couple of kits that we'll have to borrow, kit pieces we'll have to borrow, because there is some expensive stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some of those kits are really, really expensive. Even the sprues, just with the pieces that you need, are expensive. But again, that's part of the deal. No, not necessarily. I wouldn't call them, I mean, so they have been done. There are people that sell 3D printed versions, which are highly accurate, but we have found that 3D printing resin is very volatile, especially to temperature change. So when we first started our company, we did a bunch of 3D printed stuff on our own. That didn't turn out super great just because you just can't, from a desktop printing perspective, on large models, the cleanup is tremendous.
Took us months of cleanup.
So we stopped doing that, and then we started using a factory the same factories that these other guys are using to print their kits. And the way that it works is they print them at a very high resolution, and they use sandblasters to clean the parts. So you're losing some quality to the detail when they do that, because otherwise if you printed it, like for example, like a good model is printed at 0.25 millimeter or 0.2 millimeter or 0.3 millimeter layer heights. Okay, so I know it's arbitrary for a lot of people, but just say, we'll say like, so 0.3. A printing at the factory, to get a good price, you print at 1.
Yeah, it was 1.
Or if you're spending a lot of money, you print at 0.5. But 0.5 again is very expensive, and then they sandblast the crap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be crisp, there can be quality, but there is some loss there. So like I had a guy that bought one of our like really, really big blockade runners, like a 5-footer or whatever it was, 4-footer.
Yeah.
And then he dropped one of the parts, so he printed another set, and the detail on the second set was a lot better that he printed versus what came out of the factory, just because of that extra little bit of smoothing process. But we also found that it was really hard to ship them.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many pieces break, and
because FedEx and all them don't really care about your product.
Yeah, shipping stuff overseas doesn't matter. And then we found that anything that we printed that was really big and skinny, like maybe one of these or like a wing, they would come back warped from the heat. So it was just a hassle. We weren't getting the quality that we wanted, So we stopped. So that's when we decided to shift over to doing it with the best possible castings in mind versus 3D printing, where you're kind of cheating because you don't have to worry about like molds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the quality is night and day difference.
Now again, if you're doing like little figures, like the 1/48 scale figures, like you can get some amazing prints of those. But we're talking about like very large model kits. It's just a different animal, and you can still get great results, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of post-processing work.
Mm-hmm. Also depends on your printer too.
It does depend on your printer. You've got to have a good printer. Nick, he said, oh yeah, so again, so those have been done very, very well. I think to do the best X-Wing would be great. The Y-Wing is available. There's 3D print files of a really accurate Y-Wing. So I don't know if we would do a production of a Y-Wing unless we were going to partner up with somebody who already had those files,
Or do like a concept version or something.
or do a concept version. Yeah, maybe a Macquarie version or
Mhm.
something like that. Just because those are available.
Alrighty.
Not to say that we wouldn't. It's just that's a tough one.
Saturated.
I want a Y-wing. I
Yeah.
mean we have to have one for our collection, but I'm not sure how to go about doing one of those. Just because it's there. X-Wing, I think we definitely want to do because nobody's done a really good one. Vader's TIE Fighter has been done. Again, we could do better quality as far as the production, but there is an accurate version out there. Slave 1 would be very cool. That's definitely a Grail item. A-Wing, B-Wing, we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, I imagine doing a battle series with some of the major battles being done at that scale. I think it would be pretty sweet. I'll let you know. Yeah, just let me know. Yeah, so you have to just kind of put together an idea of what you want and like where it would go. Because a lot of that kind of stuff, doing the dios, is making a diorama specific to the display area that you want it to be in. Because we want to make sure that it fits those dimensions. But I've seen some really cool like shadow box stuff, especially even with 1/12. But yeah, I mean we could do something pretty killer. It would be fun. I've always thought it would be cool to do Return of the Jedi chase scene, where you make like
A couple of trees,
like the redwood trees, and just cut them off, like where they would fit in under a shelf or whatever, and then do all the foliage, and then just have the speeders going through.
Oh yeah, that'd be a really cool piece.
3-4 foot long, something like that, maybe even longer, depending on the size. You know, you could do an entire shelf.
You even have like the fake kind of glowy explosions and stuff using the. What do people usually use? Is the cotton balls?
Oh, cotton balls!
No,
Ugly.
not the cotton balls.
Ugly,
It's the
ugly.
There's something else I saw someone use. There's this Japanese modeler I follow. He did like a really nice explosion. I can't remember.
Explosions are hard because again, most people use the cotton ball effect with LEDs, and it looks terrible. I don't like the cotton ball effect. If I were to do it, I would rather like figure out how to sculpt that in clear. You know, so you have the frosted clear like you would for a collectible figure, and then put the LEDs inside. I think that looks better to me than trying to fake the whole kind of realistic smoke thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget what he did. There was something different though. I was just like, dang.
That's the same thing. Like a lot of people that do ship work, like for the foam and the wake and stuff, they'll use cotton balls and then like cover them with stuff, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, they use that gesso or something like that, or
There's better ways. I would rather layer it up with
paint,
glue and filler and stuff, and then paint it.
Okay.
But yeah, an explosion would be good in like epoxy or something.
Yeah.
But doing legit explosions is I don't know if that's something that's a complex thing that would take a long time. Like that would increase the price of something a lot.
Yeah, definitely having something that would, like 4 feet long would be really cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a big lover of storytelling itself. So doing stuff like that does pique my interest a lot. Same thing with like the walkers. Like, it would be cool to have a couple of walkers and then like 4 snow speeders, and that would be your shelf, like a 6-foot shelf.
Oh yeah, that actually would be really cool having all of them.
And the trick is just figuring out how to design the base for the snow speeders to really look like they're in flight. You have to work with like
just a wire,
bending clear tube or something like that to get them to look good.
I saw someone attach like the wire itself was like a really thin. It looked like the actual like grapple wire.
Yeah.
But it was a hard wire, so that way you can bend it however you wanted, and they attached it to the like a little AT-AT. And I was like, oh, because it looks like it's still doing the wrap, but the wire itself is what's holding it up. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they make like a 1/44th scale snow speeder to go with the AT-AT potentially. I forget what.
Yeah.
I forget all the minis that Bandai
Yeah, it's like
offers,
itty bitty.
but it would be but it'd
It's
be
like
one of
this
those.
big. I
Yeah.
think that's what they did. But I mean, I guess at that scale, you could use a wire and it not, you know, it's not much having to hold up much weight. So
Yeah, if you use a steel wire and it's balanced properly.
so it'd be really cool to see something. Or I could, you know, what our models we use in something like that. Be cool. Using the 1/48 scale.
Yeah. Some of the time, I just don't understand why they cut. Like, I understand that they're trying to make kit building
yeah.
fun, but the stuff like you've got this laser barrel, and then all I did was just cut the back off of it for no reason.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
why
yeah,
do I have to
understand.
worry about this seam now?
They could
For
print it.
no reason. It's just to make the kit. Obviously, I know they were trying to make the kit, but I'm like, this kind of stuff. I'm like, don't do that. That's
You can just print it in one go. You know, just make it in one piece.
yeah. I mean, I understand with these things because you're also reducing weight in plastic and stuff, but
Yeah.
this is
Mm-hmm.
not cool. But I've always been been more excited about the painting than the building. I'm impatient that way.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
You like the building more than the painting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a good partnership
Yep.
because you can build them and I can paint them.
Sounds good to me. All right, I think I got these guys.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think we're going to be doing a lot of original trilogy stuff at the beginning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but I still absolutely adore Clone Wars vehicles and design.
Oh yeah, they have some of the best vehicles.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. So yeah, if you had a backdrop, Mark was saying attach the snowspeeder from the wall,
From the wall, yeah.
so you could hide it a little bit better. So you wouldn't need something very long, just
Just
not
like
attached to the ground.
Do like a clear acrylic piece or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you did a print of like the snowy landscape or whatever, and then had that attached to a piece of wood, and that was your backdrop, then you would need a very small piece of clear tube or something like that, to bend, especially if you pay attention to how everything's moving.
Yeah. Yeah,
For most of the ships that are flying, I think.
yeah, that'd be.
And then you'd only have, I mean, as far as composition goes, you definitely want to have one out, but it could be low, and that could be, yeah, it could fly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great idea.
That'd be cool. May have to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we each have one.
Yeah. And that's kind of probably live on the shelf
Yeah.
in all its glory with its uplighting.
Maybe if this one comes back from Guy, then we can do some sort of cool dio.
That with the Bandai.
that would be
Or
the
using our
video.
speeders that we make because we're doing that snow speeder. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we can even do like a little print. When we do our ATST, we can put it next to it. Of course, they're only like this big though, comparatively, you know. Yeah, they're like.
Oh no, the 148 ATST is like this big. I have one. We have the R, but there's only the RTJ version. They're only Return of the Jedi. So once we do our ESB ATST, then I think it would probably be wise to look at trying to release one in 148 and 112.
Yeah.
That fills in that hole in the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do that.
So if you needed to do dios or wanted to do dios of the return or
With our walker.
yeah, with the Empire Strikes Back version,
That'd be cool. Right,
I just don't know how the production would be on that because it's so many tiny parts.
Yeah. Oh, that, some bins. I can't read them. these guys. Where are the bases for them now? Are they on a different runner? I'm guessing that's what these are.
Yes, that's what they've been.
Gotcha. Oh, Dave is going to the Smithsonian. I think that's next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, go check out that full-size X-Wing they have there. He's like, oh, I didn't know they have one. I'm like, yeah, you need to check that out. I think it's still in the back or something, so I don't know if it's available for the public to look at. But
Yeah.
still would be cool to see one of those in person.
Yeah, I saw that kit that John Simmons did of the T-70. It looked pretty cool. It would be fun to make a T-70.
I do like the T-85 one. The one I showed you, we were talking about the other week. That was a pretty cool looking one because it's slightly different and has like, looks like a modified X-Wing.
Yeah.
All those like extra little canards and stuff on the front and pieces like that. So they'll definitely be a little different. There's a T-85 special, I think was the name of it. I don't know. It's for that new show that's on Disney Plus now. I saw it's like an animated Star Wars show.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet, but I was thinking about maybe checking it out just to see, because the constant, so a bunch of the vehicles I've seen from it look pretty cool. But who knows where it falls in the timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Nick. I mean, I think for most of our kits, we will offer a painting service for, a limited run of people who want, it painted by the creators. Because I think I can do just as good a paint job as, the average professional out there.
Yeah. Ethan will be doing the painting. I'm not confident enough in my skills to paint something for you guys yet.
But I'm also thinking in the future, I want to reach out to at least one person in the major countries, England, Spain, and the United States, especially Germany, and create a Rolodex of professional painters out there. So, once we hit our quota, we're never going to do probably more than 10 of something. Then
that way
we have people to paint models for everybody else. Because again, in the beginning I was talking about, for Star Wars stuff especially, as much as we want to release painted stuff on our own, I don't know how good a quality a factory paint job can be.
I mean, unless we're there in person.
And
that's hard.
I think we might release models with like base coating on there potentially in the future, just so that people can go in and do all the finishing work. But unless it's something like the swordfish
with the anime
or figures, we may just continue to do kits and then let the community help people that need the paint jobs. And yes, I know that it's more expensive, so I understand that. But you're gonna get, if you want something, you want it done right. You don't want to have to get something and be like, well, that's okay, it's fine, but it's not epic. So that's kind of my thought process at the moment.
I'm not talking about. Sorry.
Plus, those painters need to make a living too.
Yeah. And we'll vet them to make sure that they're
Yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good idea of most of them.
Yeah, so it's just whether they're willing to take on the commissions, which probably should.
Well, I mean, if they're going to be in the Rolodex, then they have to be willing.
Yeah.
So the whole point of collecting painters is that they are willing and able to produce a quality paint job within a specified period of time. not a year-long job, not a 6-month job. You know,
Yeah, reasonable.
a reasonable amount of
turnaround.
time, a couple of months. So it's really like just putting together. It's not just putting together a list of available people. Like all of it has to be vetted in a way like, you know, this person can take on this many projects for this period of time, and then we have to move to somebody else. You know, all that kind of stuff. Just because we don't want people to be sitting there waiting for stuff for a year just because one person got a bunch of
Kits and stuff.
kits to do and they can't do it all.
Yeah.
Along with their other work.
Yep. Makes no sense. It's 2 pieces. What's that?
Nick is just agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we're getting more people from the regular collectibles market too. So, you know, there's going to be a need for painted work. So it just doesn't make sense not to do the research and talk to the people and, you know, get something put in place for that. And we would do more, but again, it just takes time, and it'll take time away from design work. So while it's nice to get the extra funds, and that is very helpful, I will never deny that because it keeps us going. We just can't take. I can't take on more than what I can do in a specified period of time.
Yeah.
Because then potentially quality could suffer. I don't ever want to feel rushed when painting.
Yeah.
So if you ever get a tweak or a bend that you need to adjust, you can just put that under hot water
Okay.
and fix it if you ever wanted to.
I think only one of these. See, this one has a bend.
Yeah, I think
So I may have to-
mine's the same actually. I have
Just
one
one of
that
them?
has just a little bit of a bend to it.
Yeah.
It must be the same type of the mold must have an issue.
Possibly. But yeah, it's the only one. All the others look straight. It's just this one is just like, a little bent. But, you know, it is an old kit, so it could just be...
I know there are people that are redoing all of this in brass and like, yeah.
I mean, that would be cool, but that's a lot of time and effort. And plus, we don't have like a little lathe or anything to turn these properly. Because I guess all you just need is all the different sizes, right? You cut them to size.
Yeah, you could do this whole thing with just regular pieces. Even the curved part can technically be a bent piece of brass because it's just a circle.
Yeah.
That's cut in almost half.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen models being built, you can tell by now it's a lot of cleanup.
Yeah.
Especially with older kits.
Actually, I think that's most of the model building. It's all about the cleanup.
Bandai aside, but even with Bandai, I mean, you still have
There's still
the
cleanup.
nubs. Yeah. You just don't usually get flashing or parts that don't fit.
Right. Yeah, their stuff is very accurate. They even have parts now with joints built into the actual runner itself. Like it can be like one piece, but it actually can bend and do into like 4 pieces built into itself. It's crazy.
You want the sprue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like so. Like this way. So say you have a piece like right here,
Mhm.
that one piece, it looks like it's just still on the sprue, but you take that off and then you can actually bend it, and it's got all the pieces, the joints inside it, and it
Oh,
all
wow.
folds apart.
Yeah.
It's insane how they can do stuff like that. Even I think Adam Savage was, checking out the new Perfect Grade Gundam Arc 78, and I really, really want that one. But it has a bunch of those pieces. I think the whole upper thigh piece is it's one piece on the sprue, but when you take it off, you can bend it, and it goes into like 4 or 5 pieces with sliding mechanisms and stuff built into it.
We'll have to look at it. Maybe we can do it on Patreon, and
Oh yeah, that'd be.
I'll paint one, and then you can have it.
Oh, I very much like that.
How much are they?
About $250.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's not bad, and it's perfect grade. So it's it's about this tall.
Yeah.
So it's a decent size kit.
I'm not opposed. I've never done a mechanized warrior before.
Oh yeah, well, Gundam's definitely the best in the biz. All right, so I think I'm gonna just start.
There's a lot of techniques that can be learned, I think, from that type of work.
Yeah. I'm gonna try the cement on this guy. If it doesn't work out, I'll switch back to CA though. Peace. Yeah. Starting on the wings.
Yippers.
Nice.
We got a website. You can go to merlinmodels.com. You can see all the products that we have available. I'm slowly putting up the digital products. I need to put up a custom section. But yeah, we got a full website going. As far as Gundams, yes. Yeah, he was just talking about the Gundam pieces. Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
From what Justin was saying, doing a perfect grade Gundam would be interesting.
Yeah, the new one's gonna be awesome. And then we're also planning on doing some ships eventually too, because I want to do a white base and like a 30-inch white base, and then maybe even the Albion from Stardust Memory would be a really cool one to do. A couple of like Zanzibar class ships. So lots and lots of vehicles we can do from that they just don't make kits for. So, or if they do, they're either really tiny or not that detailed. So, but I would love a 30-inch like white base. You know? All right. Let's wait. Let's see. White base.
You like a white base? Nothing really out there. Yes, like a white base. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the UC timeline. So vehicles and ships from Universal Century, like the original, is my favorite. I just cut myself. The sharpness of the plastic.
Really?
Yeah, when I was sliding it around right here. This is it's got like this little edge.
Yeah.
Mm. It's okay. I think most of the glue I have on my thumb is took most of the damage. Acted as a shield. Sand that down. That's right. What does it say? Oh,
Not a gunplug guy, but Robot Spirits is my jam.
Robot Spirits. Check it out. It sounds very familiar. I'm a big fan of Gundam. You can even see from my profile picture on Facebook. It's the Blue Destiny Unit 3 from Side Stories. Yeah, sand this down. Fin grade.
Think of SH Figuarts version of Gundam.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to check it out. I'm a big fan of giant robots, so if it's got a giant robot, like Pat Labor or anything like that, or Macross, I'm a big fan of it. I'd love to do an SDF-1 for Macross, but that is a big undertaking. That is a massive ship. If I was going to do one, I'd do it right too with the full, you can take off one of the side panels and see the city inside. But it'll take quite a while to make all that.
So Nick has our walker on order, and then he also was the one that commissioned the Venator.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much for the commission. And for purchasing the walker. You're going to love it, man. I can't not look at it. It's just sitting right here on the shelf, and I just can't stop staring at it. Every time I look over there, I'm just like, oh, that's nice. Can't wait till we get the blockade runner too, because it's really nice too. I'm really happy with that. All right. I may have to, straighten it out later. Use a little heat. Okay. So let's move on to top 4. Top 4. Is this guy? What does it say? 4. 3. Okay, so it is this one.
I have the super glue.
Yes. There we go. There we go. These guys. And then these guys. Oh, well, I got one. to see? So it's a 6. Oh, perfect. The one that has already been fell off is the one I need.
Same thing here.
Just did a good job removing that stone because I couldn't find out where I did it. Just trying to go over it once again with the little sand stick. Interesting. Oh, there's some flash here.
Yeah, so Nick wants the AT-TE and the Jedi Starfighter, which we have the Jedi Starfighter.
ATT?
Tank, the one with the 6 legs.
Oh, from Clone Wars. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those things are cool. I definitely like one of those. Yeah, that'd be a cool one. Also really dig that transport ship from Mandalorian season 2. I like the transport for that chemical that they're doing with Bill Burr. Can't remember. That was a cool looking vehicle for like a ground type vehicle.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling no one's gonna make a kit of that. Actually, that serrated edge.
I wonder how fast these models were built at ILM.
We'll probably have a team of a couple like people just knocking them out as fast as possible. Everyone builds one as fast as they can.
I'm just wondering, like, did they take their time to clean up all this splashing, or did they just put it together and cover it with paint?
What they put together and covered it with paint. Well, I guess they probably the ones that were like closest to the camera. They probably took their time on to make them really, really nice. But all like the background ones and stuff, they probably.
I think these were all background ones, if I remember
Oh, really?
from what people were saying. The smaller ones are the background ones.
Gotcha. Oh, then probably they just threw them together as fast as possible. They're like, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, for the productions, deadlines and schedules for stuff like that. I mean, it's like, need this done tomorrow. Like 100 of them. Yeah, this would take a while. If they're going to try and do it like perfect every time. You had to make like 100 of them.
Cleaned up the wrong one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
central.
Oh, good. He just said that we've been mentioned on some podcasts.
Oh, awesome.
Good. That's always good to hear. If anybody has a podcast and would like us to go on there and talk, we'd be happy to oblige.
Yes. Okay, that's not flashing. That's actual piece. That may be as good as it gets. Is there an order on some of these pieces, or you just
These instructions
glue 'em on?
suck.
I was just thinking that too. It's
Like this one is, again, there's another piece that's backwards. Like it's saying this piece goes in and it faces this direction.
Yeah.
But it can't because there's a hole and a pin. And the hole in the pin only works with this one. So it can't go that way.
I- interesting. Is it? Maybe there's these. Maybe it's a different one.
Yeah, so it's saying that the opening faces in.
So there's two different sets of these. What if it's you have the different wrong set? Right. So that goes there.
Let's see. I mean, they've got it set where the angle is coming out this way, but you're right. If it was this,
Yeah. So I think it's
even then, I don't have anyone, neither one of them. Well, that one has a pin. That's this one again.
I think they're very specific, like, because I noticed when I was putting these together and stuff, like some of them look like they would fit together, but they don't. Like they're like you have to use this exact one right here. Also, they're labeled. Okay, 12C. So these are A and B on that one. So it is these. Yeah,
It says A or B, but where does it say A or B?
right here. See, this one says 12C and 12D. That's what these are for the first one. It's 12C. Is right here.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a 12P.
Yeah, so it's on a different runner. The
Sprue.
Or sprue, sorry, yeah. But they didn't group them together. Like typically, most kits would try and group like things together.
Okay, so what goes on this one then?
Interesting.
12B.
Alright, so C is this one.
12D.
33. 33, so this one. So this is the one I need. This guy.
So it was right where that goes.
And 22D. 21. 22 over here then. It is.
That goes there.
What? Oh, so instead of A, B, C, and D for these, look, you get triangle, small, square, and then like the little line. So this is your A, B, C, and D. These guys. That's interesting. Why didn't they just put D?
Annoying little fuckers.
Alright, and then A. Just the triangle one. It's this guy. A. Okay. We got 7 and 11. 7. Okay. It's right here. I think it's this guy. This isn't there. Okay. One piece is chewed out. Like all the edges were like serrated. It's weird.
All right. Making progress.
Those guys are ready. Just spin in there. Looks like a bed. I'm looking to see how it goes.
Yeah, just trying like this. The way that they have this set up, it's very strange.
I'll just get glued down. Right? Wait, how's that fit on there?
I think if it's like this,
Little holes? And
just
these little
it just
tabs right there?
leans against the tabs.
Oh, interesting. I like that, maybe. So like it fits in that little groove, you think?
Yeah, it fits in the groove, and then you push it back.
Oh, okay.
So that way.
Push it back. Okay. Gotcha. Hands off.
Of course, they designed the engine just to have the seams facing upwards.
Ah, that's a bummer.
That is a bummer. Think in I don't know when should we call it for lunch? It's almost 3.
It's 3. How about at 3 o'clock? We'll take a break, grab some lunch, and then we'll come back, finish the build of these guys.
Yeah. Yes, if you guys have any additional questions, comments, etc., before we go to lunch, let us know.
Shoot him over. Got those pieces. Okay, we'll start assembling now. Is there an order to do this, or can I just do it? Do I need to put them in a?
I don't think there's an order to it.
So as long as it just fits on there, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't look if there's anything else I need to put in here before I put this panel on. You know.
No, but don't do what I did and put too much glue, because I put some glue where there was open paneling.
Oh, I think I'm just gonna put it on the bottom of this guy. You just put it on the wing right here.
Yeah.
Ah.
What are we most excited about for the releases coming up?
For our releases?
I'm very excited about the Macquarie X-Wing.
Mm.
And I am very excited about the ESB models for next year. Because those are my some of my Grail things. My Grail stuff for Star Wars is ESB, so doing the Snowspeeder and the ATSTs to go along with the Walker, that's what excites me.
I'm excited about finally being able to have a swordfish and kind of get those going. So, because there's not really any good kits out there of the swordfish. that are a decent size. They're usually either really small or they're not very detailed. They're just little plastic toys. So I'm excited to get the whole line of the Bebop stuff, and then even venture on to doing some other series from animes. Yeah, I eventually do want to do the XGP from Outlaw Star. It's one of my favorite ships, and I feel like that would be a really cool model kit, especially if it's at 30 inches. Get the whole grapple arms and everything.
Also, the figures. I'm very
The
excited about
figures
figures.
would
I
be
love
cool.
sculpture.
Figures
At some
would be
point, I would
cool.
really love to be able to do it myself.
What's this fit?
But being a producer doesn't leave you a whole lot of time. And we have lots to model.
Yes.
So the ATST is was seen in both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and they are extremely different in design. They didn't have very much time when they were making the Empire Strikes Back version, so it was they call it thrown together. I mean, it still looks great, but it was put together in a hurry. And then when they had more design time, they designed the Return of the Jedi version,
Which is what everyone sees.
which is what most people recognize as an ATSD. But if you check the film, or just do a Google search, you'll see that there's two completely different designs. The more I like Star Wars, the more I like both versions. I mean, I'm partial to the Return of the Jedi version.
So is this just slide on the side of it like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I definitely should have put that first before I did this panel.
I thought about that too, and I just messed it up again.
There's no like a number ordering system. Like, do this one first. It's like, figure it out.
Ring, 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 ring.
Okay. So this goes like that. Interesting.
Well, that doesn't fit very well at all. Look at that.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Does it just need a little persuasion from the hot water, or?
Oh, turn it around.
Ah.
Darn it, again. Why make them not symmetrical?
Maybe they rushed to make the kits.
Maybe. That could be interesting. So, Keith was saying, yeah, my favorite is the RTGA version. I wondered if that damaged panel on the front in that scene, that Chewie piloted one, could be a swap out piece.
Oh,
It help us differentiate if we had a pair. Yeah, so
Totally.
I am all about doing really cool exclusives. So I think
that's totally doable.
for Return of the Jedi, it would be awesome to have a sculpt of Chewie, for one,
Some Ewoks.
and then a sculpt of just a regular pilot. And then yeah, have the swap outs. And basically, the way we like to do things is we reward people for helping us get the process going. So, we're adjusting things for the runner, so we'll release that information next week. So there's going to be a prize, an exclusive prize for people who purchase a deposit or a full payment during a certain period of time to help us get the model started
To production.
Right? That way we can get the production going, and then we'll still leave it open for anybody who can't afford it. They can hop in a little bit later, but we want to reward people for adopting the project at the beginning. So that's going to be a pretty good exclusive. So in that case, that might be the Chewie figure and swap out. Like the only way that you can get those is if you do your pre-order
Or
on time. You know, what we would call on time. Then we also want to offer a special gift for people who do full payments. Usually that's going to be a signed and numbered base. So there'll be an ES of just full payers, and they're going to get, you know, number 1 through blah blah blah, and then get our signatures on there. We'll make a really cool sticker or something like that for that. We're doing that for the walker. We will do that for the runner, and then we probably will also include maybe Archive X paints, a paint set for painting that model for anybody who full pays. That's kind of what we're thinking about. But we want to make sure that there's plenty of rewards for both making full payments or just paying within the certain, first month window or something like that, so that we can then get everything going without having to wait months and months before we start production on a project, because we're waiting for funds to get those wax pieces done and get the base sample made and all that stuff, because it costs 5, 10, 15, 20 times as much to get the process going as it is to make the actual model.
a lot of pre-production. Let's see. Does this fit in place? Does this fit on here? I should do a piece right here for this. Is it?
All right, so mine has a little bit of a gap, which I'm not sure is accurate, but basically there's a little tab. See this tab right here? So it can push up against a tab.
Okay, so that's
But I don't know if I would push it up all the way against the tab, only because mine is,
kind of just make it flush essentially, and then
yeah.
okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Like you only want this piece is the only
line
thing
up.
you want.
Yeah, with
To
that
stick out.
piece. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Otherwise you'll have that slight gap.
Gotcha. And then this just glues onto that right there. Oh, actually. Oh, that fits exactly. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll do these first. That's what this one has to do. It's possible. Do it like this. So it's a nice perfect piece, and then basically then it just rests. Yeah, so it just rests right there now. Okay. I see. I see. This guy gets glued in right there. You said the seams are straight up and down? Oof. Sucks.
Yeah, might have to revisit the seams.
At least the forward and down facing ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Foot. It pushes up. Have to hold it down. Wallow out and hold it a little bit. Oh.
Just gluing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna glue the engines in. Yeah.
Oh, these guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm debating doing that because I think we may have to drill out slightly this hole, so it sits a little bit more flush. Because mine was wanting to press this up like that whenever I put it in there. So, yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Plus the painting of them. It's easy enough to plug those in, I think.
Yeah.
There's one wing. Ooh. Fun stuff.
Nice.
All right. We are going to close the stream for an hour or so while we eat, and then we'll come back and finish doing all the prep work for these if we can. It's 3 o'clock, so we might do it for another hour or so. We'll just see how everything's going. Otherwise, of course, we'll do another live stream to continue working on them and then painting and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that the whole thing's on live stream so you guys can